I married my husband 2 years ago. He has 2 kids, 24 female and 22 male. He had a very nasty divorce from their mom that was fought out over years. Part of the reason for the marriage ending was she had a sugar problem and blew through their savings and was running up credit cards he didn't know about to pay for it. The divorce was finalized when the youngest was 16. She wanted the house in the divorce, which was a big part of the fight. She ended up getting it. She immediately moved in with her addict boyfriend and another couple they used with, and the house ended up getting destroyed and falling into foreclosure. And then they proceeded to squat in it and had to be forcibly removed. Because my husband and his ex ended up also having to file bankruptcy, he had been living in a friend's basement when I met him due to his credit being wrecked. Fast forward, we're married. He moves into my house. We have a prenuptial agreement. He can't be on the mortgage due to his credit anyway, and his ex and kids live with their grandparents. His kids and ex don't like me. They refer to me as that witch, but at this point, they're all adults, so I'm not going to force things with him. Grandparents recently had to sell their home and are now living with their mom's friends. They asked if they could move in with us, and I said no. Both got angry and started telling me that this was their dad's home, which made this their family home too, and it wasn't up to me if they could live there or not. They started spouting off every insult they could think of. I interrupted them and told them it was not their family home, and if they were looking for their family home, they needed to talk to their mom because she chopped it up and put it up her nose, which wasn't my problem. A huge part of the reason I don't want them here is that their mom has since squatted multiple places, forcing roommates to have to threaten her with eviction to get her out, and told the last one she would leave for a certain amount of money. The kids and her are very close, and I don't want that happening in my house. We also have reason to believe the oldest may be using. Am I the idiot for telling my husband's kids that my house isn't their family home? Edit. We got married when the youngest was 20. They said they didn't want to be involved with me, and I respected that. My marriage with him is fine. He contributes, has a job, and makes his own money. We have no drama, aside from this, since he tends to spend his time with his kids away from the house. Their choice. I can't believe they talk to you like that, but then expect to move in? Oh, heck no. Not the idiot. And get cameras for your house if you don't already have any. Just to be safe. Consult an attorney about your options. Since they are known squatters, you need to protect your home from them. My adult nephew stayed a month at my mom's house between apartments and became a de facto renter with all rights entailed in my state. It took me a year to get him out of there through the courts. Don't even let them in the door. Yeah, I'm sitting here thinking, who in their right mind would allow people who are such blatant idiots to move into their house? Like, I'm going to call you names, be an absolute jerk to you, and simultaneously demand that I'm entitled to live with you? No. However, where's the husband in this? She shouldn't have to deal with the adult temper tantrums and verbal assaults. I hope for OP's sake, he puts his kids in their place. My guess is nobody does, hence their behavior. You all sound like idiots. You seem to have very little compassion for your families. Yes, they are your family now. Situation to tell kids how their mom destroyed their house. Is it the kids' fault that their mom's an addict? You threw that in their faces, and I can see why they call you names. I wonder how many times you've ragged their mother to them. They have no rights to your house, but you suck at being considerate. Where was your husband when his kids needed him? He shouldn't allow them to be squatting as kids with their mom. I feel sorry for the kids. Kids? They're adults. 16 at the divorce. Stable life before the mother destroyed everything. After divorce. OP, don't do it, or they'll destroy your home. They're old enough to fend for themselves. Don't let your husband talk you into it. OP, please don't invite them over for any holidays. They most likely won't leave. If your husband insists, go to a restaurant. Never let them in your house. Keep your keys and wallet in a safe place. Don't let them steal your keys and make copies, or steal money or credit cards from you. That's a very toxic family you married into. Protect yourself at all costs. My 27 female, husband 28 male, Eli, has 2 sisters and his brother, the youngest, Ryan, 20. Ryan is 6'4" but skinny little thing, gets treated like a baby, and is extremely quiet. Everyone starts conversations with him 100% of the time, and he replies with one-word answers without looking up, and they all constantly ask if he's okay. He speaks monotone, and it gets agitating. I'm not sure he even knows what I look like, even though he's seen me so much. We visited Eli's family for dinner yesterday evening. Ryan was seated in front of me. Eli asked him how he was, and he just smiled and nodded. I had enough and thought it was rude, but I didn't lash out. I calmly asked Ryan if he was going to reply. He just stared at me. So I said, "Hello?" The whole time, Eli kept nudging and glaring at me. And then I said, "I think it's a bit rude that you don't answer when spoken to," in a lighthearted tone. To my surprise, Ryan walked off crying, and Eli told me to shut up. Luckily, the rest of his family was in the kitchen. He's never spoken to me like that before, and the rest of the dinner was awkward. When we came home, Eli told me not to speak to Ryan again, and that I was the one who was being rude. I disagree. Am I the idiot for making my brother-in-law cry, even though he was being rude? You are the idiot. Ryan responded by smiling and nodding his head. That is an acknowledgement that he heard and a response. Nobody's required to answer you back when you talk to them, whether they're ND or NT. Insisting on verbal conversation when the other person has clearly indicated that they're not interested in it is rude. OP is a bully and narcissistic. They remind me of all the worst people I've met who have said stuff like this to me or others just because we didn't give the perfect reaction they wanted, or have anxiety, or whatever, and they don't view it as a real thing, and they think we should just act like we don't have it. OP, it sounds like you were just looking to start crap, and if I were there, I'd tell you to shut up too. How can you be so socially oblivious that you don't see that this guy's dealing with social difficulties? At best, he's extremely shy, and at worst, he might be dealing with something like autism. Either way, it's completely idiotic to criticize someone for struggling with something like that. You aren't his parent. It's not your job to educate him. You were the only person who had a problem with this. Everyone else was fine. I don't even blame the kid, really. With your attitude, I wouldn't want to talk to you either. I, 26 male, took a little friend vacation with my close friend group this weekend. A few of them invited their SOs, and I've been dating my girlfriend, 25, long enough that bringing her along wouldn't be awkward. So my girlfriend gets along with all my friends very well, excluding one. My friend Jessica, 25, is very nice, and in many ways, she's very similar to my girlfriend. I think this is just one of the cases where similar people just repel, because on paper, they should be very good friends. They aren't outwardly rude to each other. However, they clearly don't vibe. So 3 things happened on this trip that led to disaster. On our first day there, we planned on going to the beach. While we were getting ready, my girlfriend told me she was feeling bloated and she forgot to pack a one-piece to wear. I told her we would chill in the room, and she said she wanted to go down to the beach, but we should buy one at the resort shop. On our way down, we ran into Jessica, and I told her we were going to the shop to look for a new bathing suit. Jess then offered to let my girlfriend borrow one of hers, but my girlfriend immediately rejected it and said we'd buy one. We were at the bar drinking and dancing. Jess is only about 5'5" and probably less than 130. She's also pretty much skin and bones, so she's a lightweight. Eventually, she got pretty lit and was finding everyone and trying to get us to take a shot. I was down with it when she got to us, but my girlfriend wasn't. I told her it'd be fun, and she said no, and just said we were being boring. So I just took a shot with Jess. This set her off. The final issue was that the next day, my girlfriend and I were late for breakfast because we were getting intimate and lost track of time, which was wrong of us. So apparently Jess said she'd come to get us, and as she walked past our door, she heard zoo noises, and then she went back down to everyone else and said that we were occupying each other in maybe a minute. When we got downstairs, the group was cracking jokes, which I thought was no big deal. Then they said Jess heard us, and my girlfriend got mad. That was the straw that broke the camel's back. My girlfriend snapped at her and told her that Jess had been catty to her all trip, and she'd just been trying to have a good time. She told her to stop being such a pick-me witch to her. This caused Jess to cry. I told my girlfriend she needed to apologize to her and resolve whatever beef they had. My girlfriend said that Jess needs to apologize for acting like she did, and that I'm being an idiot for taking her side. We've been fighting about this since we returned, and things are now awkward with Jess. My friends are split on this, as some think that my girlfriend was being overboard, while others think she may have a point, which I don't understand. Am I the idiot? You are the idiot. You said Jess was skin and bones, and then offered your girlfriend to wear her bathing suit. Unless your girlfriend is skin and bones, catty. I'm sure the whole conversation around doing shots was simplified from your end, given that you don't understand how ridiculous it is that she offered your girlfriend one of her bathing suits. She offered to come up and get you. I'm guessing because no one else needed an excuse to interrupt you guys except her. And then she said she heard zoo noises? Dude, your friend Jess is catty as heck. Your girlfriend owes her nothing. Jess had him wrapped around her little finger, which sounds problematic. OP specifically mentioned how petite and lightweight Jess was. I wouldn't want to try on her swimsuit either. That sounds like a Pandora's box of body insecurities nobody should open. We're all ignoring that it's possible Jess specifically offered her own because she knew they weren't the same size and wanted to draw attention to it. My dude, it's telling that Jess gets a name in this story, but your girlfriend doesn't? Jess does sound like an annoying pick-me who tried to get under your girlfriend's skin, and you're taking her side, which I'm guessing is exactly what Jess wanted. If I were your girlfriend, I would be seriously considering if I wanted to continue competing with another girl for my boyfriend. And no, I wouldn't. So you need to ask yourself if Jess is worth losing your girlfriend for, and act accordingly. My wife is 19 weeks pregnant with our first child. In the beginning, she had bad morning sickness. One time it was awful. She was working from home that day and I was at work. My sister wasn't working that day, so my wife texted and asked her to bring some ginger ale since we didn't have any. My sister did. She's also texted other family members for minor things, asking my dad to come over to do the laundry because she was feeling sick, or asking my aunt to go and clean up the mess from when she dropped a glass jar of tomato sauce. My wife's only family are her parents, who live in another province now. She only asks my family for help if I'm unavailable because I'm at work or not at home. She's not asking for the moon or anything either. I would have thought my family would be happy to help her, but they're not, even though they did what she initially asked. My dad said it was excessive. My brother said he isn't an errand boy. My aunt said she isn't a servant. Others also complain. Even my sister, who I thought out of everyone would understand because she's a labor and delivery nurse, says my wife is asking too much. I told my family how hurt I was that they weren't supporting my wife. Some of them are parents, though none of them have been pregnant before, but I haven't been pregnant. So I'm doing whatever she asks. They said they don't mind helping occasionally, but now they're complaining. You are the idiot. Calling someone to clean up tomato sauce and do your laundry is taking advantage of people. She's pregnant, not helpless. Your sister knows this, and that's why she has a problem with her ridiculous demands. If you want to cater to her, then so be it. No one else has to, and I've had 3 children. I would never have dreamed of calling someone to do my housework for me, just because I was pregnant. Agreed. I could see if there was an emergency, like she was nauseous and needed ginger ale. But laundry? That isn't something critical that can't possibly wait until OP comes home. I can almost understand the broken jar. Maybe if she was afraid of slipping in the mess and couldn't get down to the floor to clean it herself, but the laundry was blowing my mind. She's 19 weeks. Barring a significant medical issue, she can clean it up. She also needs to stop being helpless. She's a grown adult. Just wait until she has a sick baby. What will she do? Dude, I get that you're trying to make sure that there's support for your wife, but what you're expecting of your family is excessive. You are the only person responsible for helping your wife, and if you're not available to help throughout the day, you both should maybe look into hiring a cleaning service or someone to come in perhaps once a week to help with the household stuff your wife doesn't feel able to do. My wife loves the show Yellowstone, and she has a lot of relatives that farm and ranch. She, however, is a city girl. I decided to blow a wad of cash for her birthday on something useless. I bought her a cowboy hat, a very expensive cowboy hat, over $600, from a place that does custom fitting. I got one for myself as well, and I got it fitted to my big melon head. It fits perfectly, and it's actually really comfortable and useful. I can understand why they're working hats. My wife was asked by the salesperson if her hat fit. She said yes. I told her to get it fitted so that it'd be perfect. The salesperson said it was no problem. My wife said it went really well and did not need extra attention. It blew into the ocean when we took a whale watching tour. She said she wanted to go back to the store to replace it. I asked if her budget could handle it. She's mad at me now for not replacing it. I don't think I should have to spend more money because she hates being a bother and making people do their jobs. Am I the idiot for telling my wife I would not replace her birthday gift that she destroyed with her silly people-pleasing? Not the idiot. She hates to be a bother, but is bothering you to replace her hat? So it's not that she doesn't want to be a bother. She seems A-okay with bothering you. You bought her a wonderful gift, and she had the opportunity to tell him it didn't fit. I'm a people pleaser, but your wife needs to understand that it blew away because it didn't fit. After all, she didn't say anything. She can't expect you to buy her a new one, especially if it's expensive. You are the idiot. Do you know if your wife understood that a hat fitting means that the wind won't blow it off your head? Because I didn't. I don't usually wear hats, but if a hat was tight enough on my head, it wouldn't blow off from a gust of wind. I would say it was too tight and didn't fit. She probably felt that it was comfortable, so it fit. I'm not saying that she should get another hat if you don't have the money, but you are being kind of a jerk about it. If you get your hat fitted, you can, for example, ride 3,000 pounds of angry steak without it falling off. She grew up in a city and rodeo country. She has relatives who do rodeo. She is well aware of why you get expensive hats fitted. She adjusts her baseball caps until they fit correctly. I took her to a store that literally custom molds them to your head. She chose not to use the free service. You're being unreasonable and, quite frankly, an idiot about this. It was an accident. Heck, over half my family owns cattle and property, but I wouldn't know the first thing about how a cowboy hat is supposed to fit. If it's comfortable and feels good, I'll say it fits. I don't want that crap squeezing the sides of my head until I get a headache, which is how you're making it sound. Stop putting words in your wife's mouth. She didn't say anything, not because she's a people pleaser. You said it yourself. She's a city girl. She doesn't know how it's supposed to fit. The store people asked her, not told her. You sound like a huge idiot. Replacing the gift isn't the decider on whether you're an idiot. It's how you treated your wife over a mistake.